Salamat po. Kindly have your seats. Commander, can you give the tikas pahinga? Thank you.
Tikas! Ha! Tikas. Ha!
By the way, before I forget, si General Galvez will join the cabinet next week as the Secretary of the Peace Process Office. I think he is the 9th military man to join my government. Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo, former President and House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, former President Fidel Ramos, Sir, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Executive Secretary Salvador Medaldia, National Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, and other members of the Cabinet, outgoing Chief of Staff Carleto Galvez, the new Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Benjamin Madrigal, Major Service Commanders, officers, enlisted men, personnel, and civilian employees of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Other distinguished guests, mga kababayan, it is my pleasure to stand before the courageous men and women of the Armed Forces of the Philippines who have tirelessly worked to secure the freedom we enjoy today. As you celebrate more than 8 meaningful decades of selfless service and sacrifice for the Filipino people, we also congratulate Carlito Galvez for his successful tour of duty as Chief of Staff of the AFP. We recognize his significant contributions in strengthening our armed forces, especially in his efforts to eradicate the ills that plague our society. He fought corruption within the organization by initiating reforms that improve the financial state of our soldiers and the efficiency of the financial system of the AFP. During his stint, General Galvez also created AFP Development Center to address gaps in the existing AFP leadership program and to further develop the character, competence, and capacity of our military. Upon assuming command, he supervised our internal security operations in the implementation of martial law in Mindanao. This led to the neutralization of more than 2,000 terrorists, the recovery of thousands of firearms, and the clearing of 7 guerrilla fronts. As he retires from his valiant service to our nation, his accomplishments speak well of how he fulfilled his mission to foster a stronger and more dependable armed forces, as well as safer and more secure Philippines. General Galvez, as you hang up your uniform, you can stand proud knowing that the armed forces that you pass on is one that is formidable and empowered. Be assured that as you leave military service, you have inspired others with work and have set an edifying example for the entire institution. Last week, I signed Executive Order Number 70, creating the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. From the military-centric approach that gave us our recent successes against the communist movement, we now shift to a new civilian-led approach that will tap other government agencies and other private sector in bringing basic services and other development interventions that will address the root cause of the communist movement. General Madrigal, you are now tasked with the responsibility of preserving peace and ensuring order as we shift to this new approach. Sustain the progress of those who came before you and create a legacy that will cause ripples for positive change in the years to come. As we trudge the noble path of realizing lasting peace and sustainable development in our country, I trust that under General Benjamin Madrigal's leadership, the AFP will achieve more milestones in the campaign to combat terrorism, to end insurgency, and address lingering and emerging threats to national security. The Filipino people count on the AFP to remain steadfast in its mission to defend our land and preserve the peace in our communities. Let us not fail them. As I have done in my part to ensure the welfare and well-being of our troops, including their immediate families, I now ask our men and women in uniform to support the leadership of General Madrigal so that we soon realize our aspiration for a stronger armed forces and a safer and more secure nation. Congratulations to General Galvez, General Madrigal, at mabuhay ang sandatang lakas ng Pilipinas.